Hello, everybody. Welcome to the second channel stream. It's been 2 weeks since the last one. Still not used to this. Still very uncomfortable with this format, but I did it for 8 years before I stopped, so I should be able to do it. Hello, everybody. Welcome. If this is your first time here, thank you for joining. If you were here last time, welcome back. Similar to last stream, we have a very similar setup going on here. This channel will likely just start becoming my music channel, where I talk about music. I might be a bit loud, maybe. I don't know. We're gonna leave it. Yeah, I feel much more passionate about music than I do about video games, to be honest. But that doesn't pay the bills. So this channel will likely become, at this point, where I go to talk about music, because it's fun, and I like it, and it makes me happy. If you're here, chances are you came from the 1 minute long main channel stream that announced this, but I'm still going to explain what we're doing today. So we're about halfway through the year. We're about halfway through the year now. So I figured now would be the best time to talk about albums that came out this year, and review them, rank them, and talk about them. Because if we wait till the end of the year, that's probably too much for one stream, and also I kind of just really want to. I have made it a conscious effort for all of this year to listen to a lot of music, but as of late, I have made it an effort to keep up with new music, listen to stuff that came out this year, listen to some of the stuff from earlier from the year that I missed, and keep up with stuff that's coming out. And I've done a pretty good job of it. So let's take us over to the tier list. We have, I believe this is 14, 28, 29 albums here, I'm pretty sure. From a wide variety of artists. We got some rap in here. We got some indie rock in here. We got some metal in here. We got some pop. We got some experimental shit. Even some electronic stuff, some alternative stuff. We got a nice variety here. And that's what I'm most looking forward to, is talking about what I like about these different types of albums and music and artists. And again, like I said in the announcement stream that just happened, just so you guys aren't entirely in the dark on this one, because it would probably be, like, I'm sure a lot of you have heard some of these, for sure. Like, I imagine a lot of people have heard some of the future Metro Boomin collab. I'm sure some of you have heard Tortured Poets. I'm sure some of you listen to BRAT. You know, like, most of these, there's a couple, but most of these are not underground artists. So, a lot of these you guys have probably heard, but I doubt there's many of you, if any of you, that have listened to all of this. So what we're also going to be doing is I'm going to be listening to my favorite song from each album. That way you guys get a little bit of a gist of what the sound is, the style, the genre. So, you know, you won't have nothing to go off of. We obviously can't listen to the whole album. That's not an option. But I'm going to play you guys, and I can't play it, I'm going to pause it as well to talk about it, but I'm going to play you guys what I would consider the best song from each album, and we can talk about that, and you guys won't be completely in the dark on each album. Now, that won't be the best representation, because the thing is, for the albums that I genuinely hate, the albums on here that I think suck, I'm still going to pick the best one to play, which I guess is slightly disingenuous to what I'm actually going for. But we're still going to do it that way, because it's easiest. Oh yeah, and our tiers here. We got Album of the Year Competitor. Oh yeah, also, these aren't all albums. Some of these are EPs, some of these are mixtapes. It's just projects, but albums is a much easier terminology to use. So yeah, Album of the Year Competitor, Best Project of the Year Competitors, peak shit for real, just some peak shit. You know, like, teetering on being the best of the best, but generally it's just really, really good. Goob, these are just good albums. Okay, they're not mid, you know, they're not middle of the road, but there's something holding them back from being truly good. Mid is just middle of the road, mostly forgettable, highs and lows, but ultimately nothing really special. These are just bad albums. Just bad albums. For one reason or another, we'll get to it. And then Dear God is just the worst of the worst. These are the albums I never want to revisit. These are the albums I genuinely cannot stomach. And we won't have a lot of those or anything, but it does happen. So, yeah. Let's ditch the FNAF music. And, also, for transparency's sake, not that it really matters, this is a little different, than, this is a little different than most of my tier list streams in the sense that I do have notes. Mostly because there's a lot of stuff here, and all of it came out this year, and some of it's pretty new. So just for the sake of my convenience, I do have, like, every single one of these albums I wrote, like, you can't see shit, but I wrote, like, a full paragraph about as, like, a short review. Some of which you can find on Instagram, where I talk about music. And also I have an albumoftheyear.org account, if you want to check out albumoftheyear.org. But yeah, like, I have some notes here to help me get my points across, and I also have my best and worst songs written down, just to make it really easy. But still, we're just going to be talking for the most part. Like, I've written full paragraphs, but I'm not going to read them one-to-one. That would be stupid and boring and pointless. But yeah. We're just going to get into this, I guess. Again, I'm not a music critic. I'm not a music reviewer. This is going to be very sloppy, and don't take anything I say all that seriously. This is purely just my opinion and shit. There's no effort here. There is no effort here to be objective. I'm just here to talk about music that I like, some music I don't like. You know, I've given all this stuff a fair shot. So yeah, we're here to talk about it. Let's kick it off. The Future and Metro Boomin collab album, We Don't Trust You, major rap project this year. One of the best trap releases I think we've seen in a very long time. I'm going to play my best song, which unsurprisingly is Like That, which for those of you not in the know, Like That is the song featuring Kendrick Lamar off this project that kickstarted the Drake and Kendrick feud that went on this year and is arguably still going on, and that's pretty much the biggest thing to happen in music this year. Unfortunately, we won't get the chance to talk about it much this stream, but it was pretty big deal and also really entertaining. And yeah, pretty much all stemmed from this, and Like That is my favorite song on it, so we're going to listen to that in a second. I'm very excited to listen to it again, even though I've heard it a million goddamn times. But no, yeah, what I will say before we just get into the track is, this is, I really like this album. I don't think it's amazing. I still think, here's the thing about Future. Future is one of the most influential rappers we've seen in ages. One of the most influential ever. But it's no, like, secret. It's like, even his fans would not deny, he's very, like, one-dimensional. He's not the most expressive. He's not the most technical. And he's kind of been doing the same shtick since his debut. So I do think, although, you know, he's very influential, he has a legacy behind him that he will forever maintain. I don't think he's released any, like, great projects or great music in a long time, because it's kind of gotten old, you know? His style and his whole deal has just kind of gotten old at this point. And he's been working with Metro Boomin for a while now, but Metro Boomin's production on this album is incredible. It's so dynamic. There's so many fantastic beats on this, and Future works with them really, really well. So although ultimately he's still not branching out from what we've known him for a long time, I do think he does a great job on this project, and there's some great features on this project, like that. But no, there's some great features on this project. I think this is just an overall good album. With some songs I think are kind of boring. Again, Future kind of still does his same thing, and not every beat can be outstanding. I think there's some boring tracks. There's some forgettable verses. Some of the hooks I think fall flat. But hey, you know what is on this album is Like That, and I love this song so much. And you know, when I first heard this, I'm gonna look very red here. Don't mind that. Like, when I first heard this, I was kind of like, okay, the Kendrick verse is incredible, but ultimately everything else is kind of just whatever. I don't feel that way anymore. I think Future is very catchy on this song. The, like, little instrumental breaks are really cool. The beat is ridiculous. This is just a great song. This is probably my favorite trap song in the last 5 years or more. So, banger. Let's listen to it.
Gotta find my joint up on this bitch. I miss you. 3 times. Yeah. Sticking to the code, all these hoes for the street. I put it in her nose, it's gonna make her pussy leak. Pussy niggas told ain't gon' wake up at they sleep. You can't hear that switch, but you can hear them niggas scream.
I can't sing along to this on stream. There's far too many N-words. It's so unfortunate. It's such a banger, though.
I know she gon' swallow, she'll go. Free band niggas bring the rats in. Got the shooters in the corner like the pack in. She think cause she's out that bitch, she attractive. That's that shit that get you put up at the section. And the model still the same. Ball like I won a championship game. You know these hoes hungry, they gon' fuck for a name.
Bro, this beat is insane. I love this beat. This might be my favorite Metro Boomin beat. The Eazy-E sample, which is a Gumby sample, which is hilarious. God, it's insane. It's so good. Yeah, I like this hook a lot. I think it's catchy. Again, Future, like, Metro Boomin really, like, up, like, I mean, it's a collab album that was obviously gonna need a lot of attention, so, like, obviously Metro Boomin went all out with this project, but, like, this is, I think, his best work. Like, he clearly put his all into this album, and yeah, this beat goes insane. And Future, although again he's a fairly one-dimensional artist, he didn't even have to try that hard. He just had to make sure he felt he had the same groove that all the beats did. He had to write some catchy hooks, some simple but fun lyrics. He just had to make music that was fucking fun, and he was already good at that. And then Metro Boomin was just able to elevate it like crazy. This is just such a fun song. And then the Kendrick verse, he's the GOAT. Sorry, he's just the fucking GOAT. So it's just gonna be incredible. No, yeah, and the little instrumental breaks. There's like a full instrumental break later on in the song, but also again the Eazy-E sample I love. It's so good. Oh, 24, you want go? Is you like that? Niggas from the bottom really like that. Stepping in Balenci's if you like that. It's such a bop. The GOAT is on the way. These niggas talking out of their neck. Don't put no coughing out of your mouth. I'm way too paranoid for a threat. Hey, let's get it, bro. DOT, the money, power, respect. The last one is better. See, it's a lot of goofies with the check. I mean, it's. I love this song. This feels like a. I mean, it is. I was gonna say this feels like a piece of history, but I mean, it is. This is a piece of history, but it feels like a long time ago now. But this is so recent. But, and like, the feud is so recent. Again, the Not Like Us music video is still not even out. It's coming out in a few days. But, like, when I heard this, I already loved it, because it's such a banger. But it's also, like, it's so cool to hear now. Because this feels like, it feels like a victory dance before the beef started. Because, like, Not Like Us is kind of a victory dance, but the thing is, this is before things got serious. But it's also, it's before things got serious. It's still about the beef. It's playful. It's a bop. It's a banger. So this feels like, now, now it feels like I can just, it feels like I'm celebrating his win before it fucking happened. And that makes it so much better. It's such a banger. Say it's a lot of goofies with the check. I mean, I hold them sentiments symbolic. My temperament bipolar, I choose violence. Okay, let's get it up. It's time for him to prove that he's a problem. Niggas clicking up, but they not be legit. No 40 water, tell him. Yeah, get up with me. Fuck sneak diss and first person shooter. I hope they came with 3 switches. I crash out like fuck rap. This Melly Mel if I had to. Got 2 T's with me. I'm snatching chains and burning tattoos. It's up. Lost too many soldiers not to play it safe. If he walk around with that stick, it ain't Andre 3K. Think I won't drop the location. I still got PTSD. Motherfuck the big 3. It's just big me. Nigga, boom. What? I'm really like that. And your best work is a light pack. Nigga, Prince outlived Mike Jack. Nigga, boom. For all your dogs getting buried. That's a K with all these 9s. He gon' see Pet Cemetery. Kendrick's just the GOAT, man. He is the fucking GOAT. It's insane. And there are people that still, like, underrate him to this day. Like, he's the most unanimously liked thing in the fucking world, and there's still so many people that underrate him on, like, lists and shit. Like, people will make the argument, is he too new? Is he too modern to be on, like, a best of all time list? Like, the greatest of all times are, like, the Biggies and Tupacs, and their careers were tragically cut very short, but ultimately still cut very short. Kendrick, with his albums alone, is easily in that fucking conversation. Even going back to Section 80, but, like, with the Good Kid, Mad Cities, the To Pimp a Butterflies, he's already immediately in that conversation. But, like, how much he demolished this beat in his feature game, he's just the fucking GOAT. And I love this verse. I love how he does on this Metro Boomin production. I love the way this started the whole feud. I think he did a great approach to this feud right here. God, this is such a banger.
Is you like that? Kicking doors, kicking in doors, is you like that? Young throw niggas selling lows, is you like that?
All 24, you want go, is you like that?
Niggas from the bottom really like that.
Stepping in Palenci's if you like that. Pop another bottle if you like that. This little instrumental break is so cool. I love it. It's so fucking cool. I love this beat.
Young dope dealer selling dope, is you like that? Kicking doors, kicking in doors, is you like that? Young throw niggas selling lows, is you like that? All 24, you won't go, is you like that? Niggas from the bottom really like that. Stepping in Balenci's if you like that. Pop another bottle if you like that. Came bringing dope, niggas was John slanging powder. Walking a strip club, make it rain for 3 hours. Locked in and now got my family on my driver. Perked up, took chances in my hood like Nevada. Yeah, this beat goes crazy. Future does very well on it. The Kendrick verse is crazy. This is a piece of history and a goddamn banger and a half right here. I love this track. And again, this album has plenty of bops on it. My least favorite track is probably Slimed In, but like Claustrophobic type shit, Ice Attack, GTA, Running Out of Time. Plenty of great songs on here. I do think there's some misses, and I do think there's some verses I don't care for. Playboi Carti, I think, has been on a pretty bad feature game this year with Carnival. I think he's the worst part of type shit. He's on the Camila Cabello record. You know, there's some down points to me, and I think there's some tracks that are overrated. Like, I like type shit overall, but mostly because of Playboi Carti's verse. This is like a lot of people's like best or second to best of it. I think it's a little overrated. I think Cinderella might be a little overrated too. But like, yeah, there's a lot of bangers on here. It's a fun project. One of the better trap projects we've seen in a while. I think this is a good album. It's very goob. I wish they didn't underline this shit. Can I add this to my I can add these to my personal dictionary. All right, I'll do that. Perfect. Yeah, I think this is a good album. I think we're off to a good start with that. It's a pretty good trap album with some great production as well. Let's move on to 21 Savage. This is his album this year called American Dream. And similarly to Future, we're going to have a very similar conversation here, except I don't think 21 does quite as much of a... I don't think 21 did quite as well this year. The thing about 21 Savage is he's a pretty skilled rapper. I would say he's pretty good at what he does, and he's been good at what he does, but he's very one-dimensional, and he has not experimented nearly as much as I think he should throughout his career. He's been around for a long time. He had the Drake album, the Drake collab album, which was good. And, you know, he's made plenty of bangers. He's gone viral many times for his bangers, but I feel like he hasn't tried that much to branch out, to try harder. I think he could be doing a lot more. And with this new record, I do still think he's a little too one-dimensional. His vocal range is short. He's not the most expressive. But what I will say about American Dream that gives me a lot of hope for the future is it feels like he's grown up a lot. You know, like when 21 Savage was first popping off, he was early 20s, and I believe he's about 30 now. And I will say the writing on this album is much more mature. The themes of this album are much more, I can tell, personal to him, but also more serious, with like genuine warnings to people that
glorify his walks of life as a youth. And, you know, I think there's actually some very, very nice writing on this project. But ultimately, again, I mean, maybe at this point, this means this is just unchangeable. But I don't think I think he should try harder to do more things. I want to see him be more experimental with his production. I want to see him at least try to put a little more into his vocal style. You know, I would really like to see him just try harder and do a little more outside of what he's been doing for so long. And you know, that makes this album, since I feel like I've heard some of these songs so many times in his career, you know, it's just not the most exciting project to me. But you know, again, I think he's improved his writing quite a bit, and that's a big part of the work. I think this album is okay. I think this is an okay album. I will still play my best song off of it, which I'm gonna say is the closer, "Dark Days." I actually think I do really like Red Rum, which is like the hit single off of it. But I think the closer is a very pretty song, so we're going to be listening to that. Dark Days, featuring Mariah the Scientist. I'm unsure of who that is, but they did great on this track, so maybe that means I should check them out. So yeah. Dark Days, 21 Savage, banger. Well, not so much a banger, more so just a really nice song. Again, I think this project overall shows quite a bit of growth from 21 Savage, and I think this song is a pretty good example of that.
I finally got the fame and fortune that I prayed for. Who would've thought I would've emerged from all that gun smoke? This for all the teenagers that want a gun tote, cause they cheaper in the hood than in the gun store. You gon' lose a lot of your friends, and that's what hurt the most. You can't do nothing but reminisce about y'all cracking jokes. You feeling like nobody love you, I know how that go. You gotta love yourself, little nigga, that's gonna help you glow. I know it might sound lame, but just stay in school. They got a place that they put people who don't follow rules. You probably got your mama scared, don't wanna watch the news. Ready to risk your life and freedom for a pair of shoes. Yeah, you say you love your switch, but they don't love you back. You can hug that block all night, it ain't gonna hug you back. Some of your friends gon' reincarnate and come back as rats. And at your candlelight, they ain't gonna give your mama jack. Now your brother kids asking where they daddy at. So you gotta lie and tell him he just took a nap. You done failed in the streets, so now you tryna rap. But that ain't really working for you, so it's back to trap.
Yeah, I think 21 Savage's approach to this project, and this song in particular, is, in a sense, heartwarming. That feels like a strange word to use in this case, but I'm gonna go with that. It's kind of heartwarming. I like that, you know, after so much of what he's done in his career, he's, like, so open and honest about the seriousness of his past life experiences and what it's like to live that experience. And in hip-hop music and in media in general, a lot of the time, it's something that's very much glorified. And I think he does a really good job here. Like, again, this is, I think, some of his best writing in a long time. I think he does a very good job. I think he does a very good job talking about the subject.
Back to trap.
I really like that hook. Very pretty sounding.
Struggle trying to let his last breath out. You don't wanna do it, but you lost some real niggas that you gotta step out. One more seat left in the car, you gotta help out. Niggas stressed out. Probably why I tell the kids to put the guns down. Gangster, but I still cry when nobody around. Trying to numb the pain, drinking bottles till I drown. Never do no suicide, but I be lying if I said it haven't crossed my mind. I hurt on the inside and I still act like I'm fine. Why the judge give my nigga Paul all that time? Heard they locking niggas up for what they put in rhymes. Standing on this shit, fuck it, I'm still writing mine. This what growth look like, no more committing crimes. I stayed out the way and made a way for us to grind.
Yeah, I think that second verse is probably the best of the whole album, probably. Yeah, again, don't have much to say about that I did than I did about the first one, but still, I think this is, again, a really big highlight of this project. I really like this direction 21 Savage is going with this, and I'm really excited for his next body of work, honestly, because which I never really have been. I've never been a big 21 Savage fan or anything. He's kind of just made some bangers that I like. I'm actually really excited to see what he plans on doing next.
Supposed to be polite.
Oh yeah.
Jumping sheets as we was fine.
21.
We got that fire, we was 9. You can see the pain in my eyes. I mean, like, fuck love. But either way, I'm still gon' try. Fucked up.
21.
Seeing my twin on channel 5. Even gangsters cry.
Gangsters cry.
Even gangsters cry. Even gangsters.
Again, I'm not familiar with the feature on this song. I should probably look into them at some point, maybe after the stream. But yeah, I think they were a great addition to the song, and I think having them be such a big part there was I really like the structure of the song.
My son, this is your time.
Right, and this is the closer, because again, there's like a bit of a concept. It's not really a concept album at all, but it kind of almost is.
I pray for many more fulfilling experiences as you elevate to new levels of growth, purpose, and success. Dreams really do come true. By the grace of the source of life, so be it.
Yeah, I think this song is very pretty. I think 21 Savage has a lot of great writing on it. Again, it's my favorite off of it, because I think it's the most in tune with the emotions on display. As a complete project, though, again, I just think it comes kind of short of being a truly good album, but it makes me really excited to see the trajectory that 21 Savage wants to go in the future. Yeah, I think it's an okay project. I think it's okay. All right. Let's talk about it. Here we got the collab album between Kanye West and Ty Dolla $ign. And, you know, discourse around this one has been really interesting, because this album was so, like, brushed off by people because it's offensive, which, like, it is. It was, like, very much ignored by people, or just hated on because it's offensive. And then, obviously, Kanye's fans retaliated to that and mostly attacked the people that was critiquing it purely from the perspective of it being offensive. And, you know, I could talk about how this album is offensive, because it is. There's offensive shit on it. But I don't like that discourse. Not because, you know, I mean, I guess it's good to talk about when bad people do bad things, but it took away from the conversation that this album is actually just horrifically terrible. If you remove everything that's offensive about it, this album just fucking sucks. It's actually insane. Like, especially when you consider it's a fucking Kanye album. Like, Kanye's missed before. Some people may say he's never missed, but he's missed before, but he's never missed this bad. He is clearly, I mean, I want to say he's so off his fucking rocker that he can't make good shit, but the thing is, so many people had their hand in this project. I know that because it's a fucking collab album. I don't know how this album turned out the way it did. This is Kanye's worst production by such a significant margin. The production on this album is terrible. The writing is a lot of time non-existent. There's like almost every bar on this album feels like a filler bar. There are some features on here that are really good, but despite how great they are, they can't save the terrible material they were given. I live under a rock. How was it offensive? Well, Kanye West went on his whole anti-Semitic arc, and there are plenty, and by plenty I mean like 3 or 4, anti-Semitic bars in the track list. Which, you know, it's gross. It's not good. But again, it really took away from the conversation. This album is just genuinely terrible. There's like nothing good about this album. I'll still play the best, in my opinion, from it. But like, there's nothing good about this album. My favorite would be Fuck Something. Most people probably say it's Burn, and some people like Carnival. But like, and the most people say the worst is Hood Rat. I'd say the worst is Paid, but whatever. It doesn't make much of a difference. I'm gonna say this is my favorite one. You know, I think it's fine. This song is fine. It won't really give you an idea of how terrible this album is. But, no, yeah, this album actually fucking sucks. Like, this whole track list... They had to remove one of the fucking songs. This track list blows. I don't know what he was thinking. The production is a mess. It's not... And the thing is, Kanye's made projects in the past that were, like, poorly received because... genuinely because people didn't see the vision. Like, I should start this off by saying... I wouldn't consider myself a Kanye hater. I think he's doing a lot of bad shit these days, and I don't know why. I wish he would stop that. But, like, the thing is, Kanye is handedly the most influential musician of the last 20-plus years. The waves this man has made in music, for the better, I would say, is insane. Like, all of the most popular music in the world as it stands would not be happening without his work in primarily the early 2000s. But still beyond that as well. So, like, there are times where Kanye is truly so ambitious and innovative that it's just kind of weird. It's a little confusing at first, and you have to, like, process it and understand it. But there's nothing innovative about this album. There's nothing really unlike what the norm is, besides the fact that it's so fucking poorly done. All the beats sound like shit. It's grating to listen to. The writing is tragic. This album sucks. But I like this song, kinda.
Shawty wanna fuck, well, I'ma let her hop on some. Shawty wanna fuck, well, I'ma let her hop on some. Shawty wanna fuck, well, I'ma let her hop on some. Shawty wanna fuck, well, I'ma let her hop on some. Right?
Again, I still think this song is, like, very underwritten. I know it's meant to be just, like, a fun song, but I still think it's pretty underwritten. But, yeah, I do kind of like... I do like the kind of, like, grainy, distorted sounds of the bass. I do like that shit. I am a fan of that kind of thing. I do still wish there was a little more energy put into the performance, but I guess that's fine.
Nah, Shawty wanna fuck on me, I told her let's go. Nah, dressed in all her face, she tryna show. Miami, bar hard before I told.
Again, the writing kind of blows.
All of my vibes, teens gotta keep them close, they might jump back. We might go spin these and clean it home before we cool out. I'm tryna fuck some
right now. Right now. Right now. Just so you guys know, the whole album is like this. There's no song structure to any of these songs. The whole album is like this. The whole album is just this same goofy fucking structure where they're just like again, I don't know why Ty or anyone else didn't step in and stop. and say, hey, stop doing this shit. But, like, Kanye was obviously so off his fucking rocker. He just had, like, all these ideas for random different things, and he put them all in the same song. And he did that. How many fucking songs are this? It's like 16? 16, yeah. He just did this, like, 16 fucking times and just said, all right, I have this idea. All right, we're gonna have people cheering. All right, and then we're gonna have a really bad verse with some bass. All right, and then chipmunk voice. All right, let's put it all in the same song. And he did that 16 fucking times.
Coming down swerving. This the real, not a version. Even Jesus ain't marry a virgin. No weapon formed against his virgin.
We coming down swerving. This the real, not a virgin. I don't care who you are. You a virgin to me. You a perv to me. Baby, perfect to me. Hold my coat. Hold my drink. On my own, don't want me. Shorty wanna fuck on sir. Fuck on me. Suck on me. Publicly.
Alright, that's because Kanye got banned from, like, a boat service or something because there was leaked photos or maybe video of him and his new partner. I think she sucked his dick on a rental boat and he was, like, banned from the service when the videos leaked. Something like that.
Baby, you on fire. Baby, you on fire.
Again, there's no song structure. There's no song structure to anything on here, but this song just has the most elements that I can kind of enjoy, which is distorted bass and a more playful approach, and that's about it. And it's also marginally more creative than a lot of the other tracks. A lot of the tracks on this album are, again, not innovative or interesting. They're just poorly done, and they're really boring. I'm trying to fuck something right now. I'm trying to fuck something right now. That was trying to fuck something right now. Yeah, again, there's like no good material on this whole album. This album actually sucks, and the fact that there are people like in the hip-hop space that try to defend it is insane. Because again, when just talking strictly about the music, I don't really care to talk about like the inappropriate or offensive lyrical content. Like, that's what Fantano did, and I understand why he did it, and I have no problem with him doing it. But, like, it truly did a disservice to how bad this album actually is. Because just everything about it is so poorly done. It is the worst-sounding Kanye album by such a significant margin. Like, Jesus is King shits on this. And Donda 2 is better than this, and it wasn't even fucking finished. This album, this is one of the worst albums of the year, for sure. It's a Dear God tier. I think it's like a 1.5 out of 10 album. Like, this album genuinely is terrible. And speaking of terrible... terrible, not as terrible. Alright, let's move on over to the Taylor Swift album this year, The Tortured Poets Department. For the record, how do I talk about this Taylor Swift album? It's really hard to talk about the Taylor Swift album because, like, aesthetically, song-wise, it's like vocal-wise, production-wise, there's nothing that egregiously bad about it, aside from the fact that it's boring. This album is really boring. Like, the lack of variety, the lack of structure in this album is terrible. Like, it gets so excruciating. And a lot of the songs bleed together because they sound the exact fucking same. There are some that break the pattern, but, like, the flow of this album is coherent, but it sucks because it's so boring. There are some... there's one song on it that I like that we will be listening to. I do like I Can Do It With a Broken Heart. I think it's a solid 7-ish out of 10 song. And there's some songs that I think are fine. Like Fortnite, not the game, is fine. But the writing of this album is just what completely takes it apart. Again, it's a boring album. There's nothing interesting. Like, there's some well done production. And, like, Taylor Swift is a skilled vocalist, but the writing on this album is so egregiously embarrassing. Like, it's really humiliating. Taylor Swift sounds like an angsty teenager, but she's 34 or something like that. 32, something around that. She is a fully grown woman. And she's been making music since she was like 17. I feel like she should sound a little more grown up than she does. And what really bothers me about this is like aesthetically, it is like a more mature approach to music than she's done in the past. But it's written like a 13-year-old, and it's so disgusting, the combination. Like, the combination of these, quite frankly, pathetic lyrics and this very sophisticated sounding music just gels so terribly. Yeah, this album's, like, bad. Like, this is a pretty bad album. It's not one of my worst of the year, but it's a bad one. Like, the writing on this is consistent. And, like, when you look at the fucking track list, there's so many people saying this, when you look at the track list, like, it looks like this, it looks like it was written by someone that tried to fit in as many, like, Twitter jokes as possible. You got Fortnite, you got Down Bad, you got Florida, you got Lommel. Like, God, this album sucks. Who's Afraid of Little Old Me is probably my least favorite. But God, this album sucks. The writing on this album is terrible. She sounds like it sucks. It sucks. The thing about this album is, it's meant to be like a big moment for her. And that's what people that like this album treat it as. Like, it's treated like, this is Taylor Swift doing what she wants now. This is the real her. She is being herself now. And that is, you know what, that's amazing. That's empowering. After all the shit that's like gone on in her career, this is Taylor Swift. She's doing what she wants. And I guess that means we just found out she's not a very good person. Because she acts like a total douchebag on this album. She acts, again, the victimizing of herself is insane. Especially now that she is in a point in her life where she's so widely accepted and she's a fucking billionaire, and she acts like, yo, man, my life is so tough. And you know what? The likes of me, you just could never understand it. It's so frustrating. This is one of those it's not one of my worst of the year, but this is a very frustrating album for me to listen to. I was very frustrated listening to this billionaire in her 30s talk like a 14-year-old that's like, yo, the world is against me. But you know what? That's okay. Because I'm against the world. It fucking blows. Did she write the songs? I mean, we don't know for sure if she wrote the songs, but it doesn't really matter, is the thing. Like, regardless, she's doing it. You can if she is being herself now. The Taylor versions are coming out. She's in charge of her own music now. You can say no to any of these lyrics that people hand you. But I am of the belief that she did in fact write these, and I think that means we just had to accept on this album that she's kind of just a loser. Like, that's the only way I could think to put it. She's kind of just a loser. She is a billionaire, and she's the most successful musician currently in the world. But she acts like an angsty teenager who's like, you don't want to mess with the likes of me. It's really embarrassing. And again, I have so many complaints with this album. Here's the thing. I think Taylor Swift should be allowed to talk about whatever the fuck she wants to talk about. Like, if you want to write a million songs about heartbreak, you're entitled to do so. But despite not even listening to so much of her catalog, I feel like I've heard so many of these songs before. Because there's only so many songs you can write that's like, I'm a grown white woman that got in a relationship with a famous white man, and it didn't go well, so now I'm gonna talk shit about him. There's only, like, after the first five songs of your career, that's no longer interesting. Like, you're entitled to do whatever the fuck you want to do, but when you're in your early to mid 30s, and that's all you've been talking about for so long, I'm already bored of hearing that shit. It's not like a comparison I'd make to her, that like someone that can do what she does writing wise, that can get away with it, is someone like Olivia Rodrigo. She's kind of like, all of her songs are kind of just angsty teen heartbreak, but she's very new into her career, and she also just left her teenage years. Like, the fact that she is that character, the fact that she is writing about that stuff, makes complete sense and is totally acceptable. And a lot of the time, they come out to be bangers. this album is so bloated and boring, and this woman is in her 30s, and she's talking like a fucking teenager, and it's just kind of gross. And again, the self-victimization is insane when it's coming from a white billionaire that everyone in the world is listening to. And lastly, the last Taylor Swift album I listened to in full before going to this album was Folklore, which is a gorgeous record. It's not pop, it's not artsy schmertsy pop necessarily, it's just indie folk. It's a straight like folk record. It's not country either, it's just a folk record. And it's so much better. It's such a gorgeous listen with a variety of very pretty production, some very well written songs is a thing. Like, that's what I don't understand about this. I don't understand what went wrong here. I know Taylor Swift has great lyrics in some of her music, because I've fucking listened to it, and I've read through them, and there's some great writing on Folklore. I don't understand what went wrong here. And it's so sad. Like, there's very few redeeming qualities. Again, there's some songs that are just mediocre, but I think there's one song I like, and that's this one. We're gonna listen to it. Because it's the only song that sounds different from all the other ones. That's the thing. It's the only song that sounds different from the other ones. So I kind of like this one. I think it's, like, again, a solid 7 out of 10 song. I don't think there's anything else on this album that touches that rating, though. Yeah. Very, very boring album. I like the song. It's fine. Pretty good.
I can read your mind. She's having the time of her life. There in her glittering prime, the lights refract sequin stars off her silhouette every night. I can show you eyes. 'Cause I'm a real tough kid. I can handle.
She's 34. She is 34 years of age.
My shit. They said, babe, you gotta fake it till you make it, and I did it. Lights, camera, bitch, smile, even when you wanna die. He said he loved me all his life, but that life was too short. Breaking down, I hit the.
Unless this is about one of the relationships from a long time ago when she was young. I guess it's possible. I don't know why it would be, because of my knowledge, all the songs of this album are about the same couple people, which was recent. One of them, I believe, being the 1975 man. I'm not looking it up. I do not care. But anyway, I mean, I'm still going to make fun of some of the lines on the song, because, again, this whole album is written badly. But once we break into the chorus here, the production is actually very interesting. The production, well, okay. Sorry, it's not very interesting, but it's very different from the rest of the record. It has much more, like, colorful production that I like.
Floor. All the pieces of me shattered as the crowd was chanting more. I was grinning like I'm winning. I was hitting my marks. 'Cause I can do it with a broken heart. I'm so depressed I act like it's my birthday. Every day. I'm so obsessed with him, but he avoids me like a plague. I cry a lot, but I am so productive. It's an art. You know you're good when you can't even do it with a broken heart.
Again, I think the writing is still kind of subpar, but believe it or not, this is still a standout writing-wise on the album. But yeah, it has much more. This part has like, has bubbly production. It's much more bright and colorful, and I do like the production on this one. Again, and it's way different than the rest of the album, which is nice. It's not all the same boring melodramatic bullshit. I think this is an enjoyable enough song.
I can hold my breath. I've been doing it since he left. I keep finding his things in drawers, crucial evidence I didn't imagine the whole thing. I'm sure I can pass this.
I wish this was better written though, man.
'Cause I'm a real tough kid. I can handle my shit. They said, baby, gotta fake it till you make it, and I did. Lights, camera, bitch, smile. Insta letters for miles. He said he loved me for all time, but that time was quite short. Breaking down, I hit the floor. All the pieces of me shattered as as the crowd was chanting more. I was grinning like I'm winning, I was hitting my marks, 'cause I can do it with a broken heart.
I do like the layering of the vocals at the end of each line in the pre-chorus. I like that. Again, I like this change of production. It's bubbly, it's fun. Lyrics still kind of suck, but that's okay. Because at least it's... Because again, the lyrics suck on this whole album, but on this one, it's much more enjoyable to listen to. Again, it's kind of fun, it's kind of bubbly. If you just turn your brain off a little bit and try not to focus too much on what she's saying, it's a pretty fun song. But the rest is so boring and nothing, so you have no choice but to listen to what she's saying. Because if you don't, you're gonna fall the fuck asleep anyway. But if you do tune in and listen, you're just gonna get angry. This is not a good album.
I cry a lot, but I am so productive.
It's an art. To be fair, I'm depressed, and I am not very productive. So, I mean, she's doing more than me. I'd never say she isn't. She's doing more than me.
You know you're good. I'm miserable.
Because I'm miserable. Yeah, that's the other thing about this. God, everything about this album is bad. But it's not going to go in Dear God tier. That's the thing. I still don't think it's... I think there's enough mediocre, not bad songs. Like, the thing about Vultures is every song is bad. On this album, there's some that are just mid. A lot of them are just mid. But the thing about this this bitch is that, like, everything she talks about is an aesthetic. Nothing is actually something that means anything to her. And you can tell by the way it's written and by the way she performs it. This isn't something that's real to her, because I'm miserable, and nobody even knows. This whole thing is just an aesthetic. It's nothing that actually means anything to her.
Try and cover my job.
Your job's to make music, and you make $1 billion fucking off of doing it. What am I gonna do to come to your job? No, yeah, this album's bad. I don't like this album. This is such a... I listen to this album more than possibly any other album on here. With maybe a couple exceptions. No, there's a couple exceptions. But this is one of my most listened to albums on here. Because I tried so desperately to, like, get into it. To try to understand it. And through that, it didn't make it better. It made it more... I just kept getting more frustrated. Because, like... I liked Folklore quite a bit, and I respected her as an artist, and most people, so many people I knew loved this album. People were saying they had such emotional reactions to this album, and I was trying so hard to understand it. But to me, all this does is paint the picture of a pathetic, privileged person that has everything you could ever want, but still wants sympathy points for shit that she doesn't seem to have ever even gone through. Which I think is actually more than likely. Like, that's why, like, some artists I can't stomach. Because it's so clear that they're talking about serious shit. But it's not something that's real. I think Melanie Martinez is a great example of that. If you enjoy the sound of her music or whatever, that's fine. But Melanie Martinez is an artist who is mostly popular off of making music about, like, childhood abuse and stuff like that. And she has said herself, she had a perfectly content and unproblematic childhood with no traumatic experiences whatsoever. She purely makes that shit the fuck up to talk about it in her music. And I think that's cringe. And I think that's shitty. I don't think this is as bad, but, like, if you look at pictures of the house Taylor Swift grew up in, it's a fucking mansion. And she's still saying lines like, "You would not survive in the place that I grew up in." It's so frustrating. Bad album. Next, we got an album I do actually like. This is Ski Mask the Slump God's 11th Dimension, his first album since 2018. It's not as grandiose as it could have been for that long of a wait. But, I mean, at the same time, there's plenty of reasons as to why it took so long. Ski is a artist that came out of the SoundCloud era. He's a SoundCloud era rapper. He was known for his speedy flows, his very witty, he was very witty. He had a lot of charisma. He wrote a lot of, like, fun, silly bars into his songs. Like, he had a lot of cartoon references, a lot of anime references. he had a lot of personality in his music. He had a very distinct voice, and he wasn't the most, like, he wasn't the most versatile by any means, and this is still a bit of a problem on this project, but he had so much personality on the mic, and that was his main thing, and that's what still makes this album really good, in my opinion. I like this album a lot, because he just has so much personality. He has some really slick and clean flows on it. It's a very enjoyable listen. It is arguably a little bit bloated, because the thing about this album is, most of the songs on it are good, but there's very little variety in the track list. There are some that break the flow, but a lot of the songs do sound very similar, and there's not a lot of creativity in the production or in his style of performance or the song structure. So I feel like some of the lesser good songs in here could have been cut to make it a shorter and just like straightforward, just cool bars, fun production, fun energy experience. But yeah, it has a little too much filler, I would say. And some of the songs are just kind of whatever. I think it could have been cut short a little bit, mostly due to its lack of versatility. But also, I still think the great majority of songs in here are bangers. I think this is some peak shit for real. And my favorite, and most people's favorite, is What Do You Mean? So we're going to listen to that. I do have a Juice WRLD bias, so it's tempting for me to say my favorite is Wake Up with Juice WRLD on it. But What Do You Mean is so much more interesting production-wise. And it's just so much more of a unique track. So, like, Wake Up is a banger, but What Do You Mean is so much more of an interesting song. And it's very chill vibes. Big fan of it. Let's give it a go. Are we back? What's going on here? Yeah, okay, we're back. There we go. Alright. OBS crashed. Sorry. I don't know what... I'm not 100% sure what happened. It doesn't usually happen. Usually, if we're playing a game or something, it crashes, but OBS just crashed. Should be fine, though. Alright. Yeah, this style of, like, harmonizing, and just this whole aesthetic is so, like, alien for Ski. Like, it's very rare you hear him working with a sound quite like this. I apologize if you can hear my little fan I have. It's summer. This is how when you stream in the summer. It's just gonna be there. It's too hot to not have it. No, but yeah, this song is very pretty. It's very different than most of the album. It has very interesting harmonizing, very interesting production choices. Most of the songs on this album are just bars, distorted basses, distorted beats, and it's just bars. This one is very pretty.
What it is, what it ain't. Like I'm Basquiat, in the paint. Like a skunk, we leave them stank. I need saving like Lois Lane, what's the name? I'm insane, you judge but you the same. Baker rack, me and my fucking bae. Who's to blame? What's to say? Imagination, I'm staying in my lane. Fornication, you are my Novocaine. Precipitation, got ice up in my veins. It's all been done, so what's to say? Niggas can't have heaven or hell, choose your way.
Yeah, and I like how clicky the percussion is as well. It's so different from the rest of the album, and I really like it for that. I'm almost tempted to say "Wake Up" is my favorite because it is just screaming and bars. But yeah, this song is a very distinct aesthetic to it that I really like. And you don't hear Ski attempt to sing all that often, so it's nice to hear.
Where everything reads, still rockin' my jelly. Cause I've been from the seas with the mark of the beast, still counting my blessings. Cut them off with the leash from the west to the east, I learn my lessons. I get lost in the beat, I get found for a fee. Be like he's insane, are you talking to me? Can you walk in these shoes? If you seen what I seen, my life like a war in Belize, I'm dealing with PTSD. On the hammock while I'm sipping coconuts and I'm enjoying the breeze. With a baddie, better call her Bambi, she weak in the knees. Staying away from bad energy, it helped my self-esteem. Bring it back to the start of the song, like, what do you mean?
Yeah, I think that song is very chill. I like the percussion, I like how clicky it sounds. I really like Ski's vocals on it. Again, it's very different than most of what you hear him do. And I like the change of pace. I like this one. I like this whole album. Again, there's lots of bangers on it. That song is very different from the rest of it. Mostly it's just a bunch of bangers. But the bangers hit way harder than they hit hard way more often than they don't. Again, I just think some tracks could have been cut for sure. And I would like to see Ski still get a little more experimental in the future because, like, although this album is new and it's probably the best body of work he's done, it's still not all that different from the stuff he was doing 5, 6, 7 years ago. So it would be nice to see him, like, try and change shit up a little bit. And speaking of changing shit up, we got Quadeca's Scrapyard. I have been a fan of Quadeca for a very long time, since his debut studio album, Voice Memos, in 2019. And ever since then, the growth we've seen from him, the changes we've seen him make in his style, in his production, in his just the growth we've seen in his skill, insane. Like the most evolved artist I've seen in like my lifetime. Like actually been able to see the start and current point of being. Yeah, it's incredible what he's done, and this project, this mixtape, is pretty outstanding. Spoiler alert, it's my favorite project this year so far. It's incredible. It is beautiful. It's versatile. It's experimental. Great rapping performances. Great singing performances. Fully produced by Quadeca himself. And it's fantastic from start to finish. Some great features on here. Yeah, this mixtape is incredible. Such interesting production. The production is so experimental. It's so unlike what I'm used to hearing. You can see some of his influences and pull from some of them, and not everything is wholly unique. But like, you got such a wide variety of very serious and calm songs, some very relatable serious songs, but then just some fucking bangers in the mix. Insane variety of stuff on this project, and I adore it. Almost everything on this project is nearing perfect. And it's really hard to pick a favorite for that reason, pretty much. I would probably say Pretty Privilege is still my favorite. And yeah, this song is an experience. This whole project is an experience. I still prefer his 2022 album, I Didn't Mean to Haunt You. This is a concept album that's just so fucking weird and unique and intriguing to follow. But Scrapyard is just like, it's not a concept album, it's a mixtape, and it's just a series of tracks he had made and worked with other people on, and it just but it's surprisingly cohesive still, though. Like, for a mixtape that's based on a series of mixtapes, or EPs, I guess, still very, like, aesthetically coherent. Yeah, it's a great listening experience, and this is probably, and this one has my name in it, because that just keeps fucking happening. But yeah, this song is fucking fantastic.
What did you say I was pretty?
it's me. I'm the baddest bitch west of the Mississippi. I could go out, but I really wouldn't know what to do when everybody tells me I'm so lucky to be loved by you. Yeah, the production on this album, or mixtape, whatever, is just incredible. It is so unique. It's so interesting. It is so interesting. I love how creative this is. I love how it's some tracks on here, and this one's so included, is just like a soundscape that you just get lost in. With the distorted, but also very pretty sounding production, but also his style of performance, and his style of writing is so much more interesting than it used to be, when he was so much more focused on just like writing straightforward rap songs. This is just something to get lost in, just to get lost into while it plays, and it's just so beautiful. I would say this is probably the most beautiful sounding album, in my opinion, on this list. I love the way the piano notes come in here. This song is incredible. It's so good. I love the build up towards the end. I love the way the harmonizing comes in. I love the way pianos come in before the fucking explosion of distorted drums and shit. It's so pretty and interesting and creative. And this whole project is like that. I would say there's a few songs that are not as outstanding, but I would say pretty much every track on this mixtape is on par with that one. That one might be my favorite, but again, it's kind of hard to pick. It changes pretty much every time I listen to it. This is an outstanding project from Quadeca, and I'm always looking forward to what he's doing, because he just keeps getting better and better and more creative and more distinct from his competitors. He's leagues above the competitors that I say competitors, I mean to say contemporaries. He's leagues above what I would call his former contemporaries were. He's incredible. Absolutely incredible. My favorite project of the year as of now. Might change. Don't necessarily think it will, but it could very well change. Next, we got this is the Knocked Loose album this year. You Won't Go Before You're Supposed to. That's the name. Yeah, You Won't Go Before You're Supposed to. Got a couple long titles in this one. I think this is pretty much everything. I'm not the biggest metal music fan. More so just because I haven't gone out to seek it. When I do listen to metal music, I generally really like it, but I'm not that well versed in the genre. But I feel like this is pretty much everything I could really expect from a metal album. It's not my favorite per se, so I wouldn't say it's the best I've ever heard, but I would say it's up there. The tracks hit so ridiculously hard. This album sounds like a heart attack. That's how I describe this fucking album. This album sounds like a heart attack in the best way possible. It is so intense. It is so screechy, and I absolutely adore it. It's pretty short, which is nice. Because, in the streaming era, in the world we're in now, there's much more incentive for artists. And that made it hard to get through a couple of these. Even some of the better ones on here get a little bloated. I'd say even these two get a little bloated. This one I would say is bloated. It's a very short album, and every song hits really fucking hard. Great instrumentation, great screechy fucking vocals, great features, which you're gonna hear on my favorite song of the album, which is Suffocate, featuring Poppy. It is a fucking banger. It is incredible. The dynamic between the two vocalists is great. This is pretty much everything I would really want out of a metal record. It's just 10, technically 9 songs that all fucking slap. Some great writing on this project, great instrumentation, great vocals. Pretty much everything you can want. I would say Suffocate is my favorite. This one goes extremely hard. Like, holy shit, this album, but this song fucking slaps. It's so grating, and in a good way. I love the vocals. They're so good. I just gotta say, I love the way Poppy comes in. Like, it's so seamless. You can obviously hear the difference, but it's so seamless and done so well. The transition between the two singers is so good. It's so seamless. You catch it, but it's such a perfect, clean transition. It's so good.
Burdened by our connection, I long for separation. In the rain and glow, every breath tries hard to escape. The rain is over now. Have you found your grave?
Suffocate! God, the instrumentation is fucking incredible. The screechy vocals from both singers so good. The transition between the vocalists is so good. God, this one slaps so hard. And again, I'd say this whole album is pretty good. This is my favorite. I think this is the best song. Yeah, this is a great album. Love this song. And I do think it's a good representation of the album. Again, I think most of the project is as good as this. This is like, it's teetering on an album of the year competitor, but it's peak shit for real. This is some peak shit for real. Great metal project. Bangers just across the board. Again, it's a short listen, it's a brief listen, and that's a part of what makes it great, in my opinion. No filler whatsoever, not a dull moment, just a bunch of bangers on bangers, some good features, great instrumentation. Yeah, peak shit for real. Alright, BRAT, very popular record this year, and I would say for good reason. Charli XCX is a very interesting artist in the pop space, being one of the most prominent figures. I'd say the most prominent, maybe except for 100 Gex, but I'd say the most prominent figure in the rise of hyperpop we've seen. And she's always did a great job of it. Her project Charli and many of her others, critically acclaimed, and for good reason. She's very creative, very distinct, and I would say this project is, I would say, her best body of work to date. It's not the most innovative. It's not like I would say her I would say her work on Charli was more it was more unique for its time, I would say. Again, her being like such a pioneer in the subgenre. But at the same time, BRAT just feels so much more refined. It feels like a more refined taste of what we were getting back in those days. It's still very creative, still very distinct in the world of pop music. And a lot of these songs are bangers. There's some fantastic songs in here. My favorite is So I, because I don't know. I guess in this case I just valued the emotion more than the bangers. There's some fantastic songs in here, and there's some great sentiment in a lot of these songs. But So I is Charli's like tribute. That's the word. So I is Charli's tribute to Sophie, who is like not the most like listened to artist, but one of the most influential pop artists in ages, and influenced people like Charli XCX. And this song is like a very bittersweet tribute to that person, because it doesn't make Charli look great per se. It's kind of in a lot of ways it's mostly about her saying, I wish I had spent more time with this person because I was given many opportunities to, and I didn't take those opportunities. And then Sophie passed away suddenly, tragically, at a very young age. I do think this whole album is fantastic. The only song on here I don't like is Rewind, but every other song I think is fantastic. There's amazing production on this, fantastic production, some great writing, some interesting subject matter, great approach to vocal performances. Yeah, I think this is just an overall fantastic album. And there's some great fun songs on here. This album can be very fun, but again, the emotion behind this one is what made it my favorites.
Always on my mind, every day, every night. Your star burns so bright. Why did I push you away? I was scared sometimes. You had a power like a lightning strike. When I'm on stage, sometimes I lie. Say that I love singing these songs you left behind. And I know you always said it's okay to cry. So I know I can cry, so I cry. Wish I tried to pull you closer. You pushed me hard, made me focus. Your words brutal, loving, truthful. I was petrified. You're a hero and a human. Track was done, I'd make excuses. You would say, come on, stay for dinner. I'd say, no, I'm fine. No, I really wish I stayed. Oh.
Yeah, this song is kind of hard to listen to at points. I've heard it many times though now, so it doesn't have like the same effect as when I first heard it. But yeah, I don't know. It's just something I really like about this song is how simple it is in its writing. Like so much of this is this happened. I wish it didn't happen this way. Actually, only the parts in brackets, like borderline ad-libs, or say, I wish it didn't happen. It's mostly just brief, simple retellings of things that would otherwise feel so inconvenient. And I think that's actually like a really good way of tackling the subject of loss, because the thing is, when you lose somebody, the first, like, something you'll harp on a lot, something you'll think about a lot is about these really small moments where things could have been just a little bit better, but because of something you decided at the time, they weren't. Like, you will think about these very small moments where, like, because you're going to think, I wish I spent more time with this person, and you're going to think of these very small moments where you had the chance to, or you're going to think of these very few times they told you something, or they gave you this piece of advice, and you didn't take it to heart at the time, but now it feels like the most important thing you've ever been told. So I actually think, like, the simplicity in this writing is, like, an amazing way of tackling the subject, and it makes it more relatable, I would say, because, you know, this song, although there's, like, plenty of lines about them both being musicians and Sophie's influence on Charli, it's not all about, like, you were the biggest star I'd ever known. You were purely a musician that influenced other people and influenced me. You know, it's a lot about just their relationship and these very simple moments they once had together that will never happen again. It's very sad, but again, I really like the approach to the subject matter.
Always on my mind, every day, every night. Your star burns so bright. Why did I put you away? I was scared sometimes. You had a power like a lightning strike. When I'm on stage, sometimes I lie. Say that I love singing these songs you left behind. And I know you answered, it's okay to cry. So I know I can cry, so I cry. Guilty feelings keep me fractured. Got a phone call after Christmas. Didn't know how I should act. I watched you dance online. Your sounds, your words live on endless. When I make songs, I remember things you'd suggest. Make it faster. Would you like this one? Maybe just a little bit. Always on my mind, every day, every night. Your star burns so bright. Why did I put you away? I was scared sometimes. You had a power like a lightning strike. When I'm on stage, sometimes I lie. Say that I love singing these songs you left behind. I said it's okay to cry. So I know I can cry, so I cry.
I love this song. This is probably one of my favorite songs of the year. You know, I love the production choices. It's, like, still kind of weird and hyper poppy, but it's still simple during the actual lyricism. You know, at the end here, it's more of a distorted harmonizing thing. But I like that the production stays fairly simple throughout the main part of the song, and I like that the writing is fairly simple. I think it does a good job of discussing. I mean, obviously, this is about Charli's relationship, so, like, she should write it however the hell she wants to write it, of course. But as a listener, I think the way that she did write about it makes it very relatable to the listener. It's very touching to the listener. And yeah, I remember when I first listened to it, it was kind of hard to get through. Because yeah, it's a very bittersweet song. Yeah, rest in peace, Sophie. This I would say this is in my top 3 or 4 projects of the year, so I'm gonna throw this up an album of the year competitor. I get there's one song in here I don't like, but like aside from that, it's mostly flawless. This is, I would say, one of the best of the year. It's pretty outstanding, very creative, bangers, emotional moments, kind of just everything I could want on here. I think this is one of the best albums of the year for sure. Genre Sadboy. This is the collab EP between MGK and Trippie Redd. Yeah, I can't really defend this one. I like MGK, and that has been an unpopular opinion forever. It always has been. But I like a lot of MGK's music, and to see him stoop to this level is very disappointing. This EP is very bland, very personalityless, very much uses the idea of being sad more as an aesthetic than authentic feelings, which is confusing to me, because I've heard MGK speak very authentically to his past experiences and his current experiences in his music on stuff like Hotel Diablo, and even Bloom. But on Hotel Diablo, you can hear many times where he talks about experiences that actually happened. But yeah, on this project, it doesn't really feel like it's coming from any specific person. It's just a very generic version of the emo rap scene we saw during the SoundCloud days, with artists like Lil Peep. And yeah, it's, and as well as Trippie Redd. Like, Trippie has not released like a great project in a long time, or even a good one. But you know, like, still, this is still so beneath the both of them as far as I'm concerned. There's nothing distinct about it. There's nothing interesting about it. There's nothing creative about it. Yeah, it sucks. I don't dislike it as much as a lot of other people. For a lot of people, this is like a 0 out of 10 project. For me, it's just so it's so generic and boring that I can't even call it that bad, because it doesn't do anything that egregiously bad, because it doesn't really fucking do anything. It's just such a nothing project that it's kind of hard to have strong feelings on it. It's bad. It is bad, and it's still one of the worst of the year, probably. But, like, it's so nothing that it's kind of hard for me to feel any strong way about it. I'll play my favorite song off of it, which for me is Suddenly. Probably because it's, like, just a boring Juice WRLD song, pretty much. It sounds kind of just like a generic... It sounds like an AI-generated Juice WRLD song. So that's probably why I kind of like it to some extent. But yeah, all this it's also the fucking shortest. This is such a nothing project. The closer is bad. It starts bad. It has bad samples, or at the very least, samples that aren't taken advantage of to create a good piece of work. No, yeah, bad writing, bad vocals, bad production, and it's painfully generic. Incredible lack of creativity. But again, it's so uncreative that's very generic, and it being so generic makes it hard to really hate. It's just kind of nothing. I think Suddenly is alright, though.
Suddenly, I watched you decide I was gonna be. Summon me to the other side from this tragedy. Underneath, hide it on the side, underneath. Kept it in disguise, under me. Everyone's alive except for me. No one on my side, it's only me. How can I survive by any means? Have you ever fucking cried in a limousine?
I hate that line.
About you when I'm high, you're like a melody, oh, in my head, oh. I thought we had something special and ended up dead.
Fuck it, ended up dead, damn. You were on my side, allegedly. Fell out with my guys cause of jealousy. I thought we was tight, but we enemies. Now it's on sight if you mention me. I flipped the switch and turn off my emotions like I fucking glitched. And I'm too high to notice, falling through the oceans, drowning in this drink that look like potions. This shit get me through the motions.
Suddenly, I watched you decide I was gonna be. Summon me to the other side from this tragedy. Underneath, hide it on the side, underneath. Kept it in disguise, under me. Everyone's alive except for me.
That's the whole song. Yeah, and very short and very simple, but I think this is the best instrumental on the project. I think it's MGK's best vocal performance. Yeah, I think this one is pretty alright. I don't really have any strong feelings on that one. I think it's pretty good, but overall, that's the best one on there, and it gets quite a bit worse than that. Yeah, this is it'd be a lot of people, for a lot of people it'd be Dear God tier. But I don't know, again, it's just so nothing. It doesn't offend me as much as a Dear God tier would. It's just kind of nothing. I don't have any it's hard to have strong. Again, the only reason I would have strong feelings on it is because I expect better from both of these artists. I know Trippie Redd is a much more skilled performer, writer, innovator than this. And I know MGK is much more capable of making bangers than this. And talking about, like, stuff that's really real. Like, I know he's also a much more skilled writer than anything that shows up on that project. So yeah, it's ultimately just disappointing from that regard, but, like, it's such a nothing project. I have no strong feelings. This is an EP DaBaby dropped this year. DaBaby is back. This project is fine. It's an EP in anticipation for, I guess, an album that I guess is coming out this year. Not exactly amped for it, but I mean, how bad could it possibly be, I guess? Because the thing is, like, DaBaby fell the fuck off because he's boring now, because he never did anything different from what he did when he first got popular. He's never tried to do anything different, and that doesn't change on this. But ultimately, I think DaBaby's flows are fun. I think his production style is fun. So I don't think he makes anything. I don't think he actually makes anything that's that bad. But it's gotten so boring. So like, he doesn't really have a place in hip hop anymore. Like, there's no need for him to be around. I would say the opener of this one is the best. Done Trying. You know, I would say this EP, I guess the album's gonna be called Ghetto Superstar. You know, this EP gives me like the slightest bit of hope that it'll be a fun album to listen to, but this is still it's still a mediocre series of tracks. It's just really whatever. Yeah, I don't know. Let's give it a go. No lyrics on this one. I don't know what this is sampled from, but
yeah, look, baby, you know what it is and you know what it's not. You was around the niggas still when niggas wasn't hot. They know I paid them dividends to get they brother dropped and never sold my soul. I might fuck around be another pot or fuck around be another me. The only thing I changed about the past is my big brother G. Everything you see in these walls and glass was earned, it wasn't free. I give all the leases, they last turned 2023. I'm done trying, yeah, take one to China try. Yeah, nigga life I took, that bitch ass nigga was trying to die. You hear me? I only shit in the trunk every time I go in this fine side. Scary ass nigga gon' ride and ride. Bitch ass nigga gon' run and run. And if you gon' stand and hide, go. My life done always been all kinda crazy. Now my mama poppin' and drive a Mercedes. And I go from here to Dubai if they pay me. If I wanna gamble, I fly out to Vegas. If I want some water, I fly out to Florida. Wherever I go, I'ma go to Gunna. If you know what it is, then you know I'm the one. Lead it.
Yeah, I think the writing of this track is generally decent. Like, his flows are more creative than they have historically been. But also, I just feel like his delivery on this is still a little lackluster. And again, it's still not that different from what I've heard from so many times. But you know, I think DaBaby's a skilled enough rapper. I wish he was more daring with his work. I wish he tried a little harder with his work. Because I think DaBaby's a skilled enough rapper. I think some people underestimate his abilities as like a rapper. Like some of his features over the last couple of years have still been very, very good. He just doesn't try. This song is fucking called Done Trying. He's been done trying for a while. Like, it doesn't feel like he really wants to make. It doesn't feel like he wants to make great music. Like, maybe because he got so comfortable just doing kind of the same thing and getting some like big hits out of it. But it's not going to work anymore. We know it's not going to work because nobody's bought or listened to his last few projects. So I hope he changes it up a little more.
You know what it is. Been a while. Yeah. Oh, nigga tired. Yeah.
I'm gonna check what this is sampled from.
Baby, you know what it is and you know what it's not. You was around the niggas still when niggas wasn't hot. They know I paid them dividends to get they brother dropped and never sold my soul. I might fuck around be another pot or fuck around be another me. The only thing I changed about the past is my big brother G. Everything you see in these walls and glass was earned, it wasn't free. I give all the leases, they last turned 2023.
It's not even on Genius. Is it not a sample? It might not be a sample.
I know you know what I mean.
I was pretty sure it was.
Them rides I took when I thought it was me, they didn't know you was right there riding with me. The shit I survived would be hard to believe. Admitted that they don't go harder than me. I don't gotta start up the car with the key. I don't gotta give her the money to fuck. You know what it is. The same as you want if I ain't with my kids. I'm facing a blunt, nigga. Cause I'm tired, nigga. But at the same time, I'm up, nigga.
Yeah, I don't know. I think DaBaby, like, I don't want to say DaBaby's washed, because again, I think he is. I mean, I think he's a skilled enough rapper, but like, there's just no place for him anymore. when he does serious shit, it sounds the same as his unserious shit, and it's not as fun as his unserious shit. Like, he's made some bangers, and those already exist, so you don't need to make more of them. And that's all.
The only thing I change about the past is my big brother G. Everything you see in these walls and glass was earned, it wasn't free. I give all the leases, they last turned 2023. I'm done trying.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think DaBaby needs to make music anymore. I don't think it's really not necessary. He's definitely set for life off of how much of his shit was so big. Like, he doesn't need to do this anymore. I don't think anyone really wants him to do this anymore. But I mean, again, if he wants to, it's whatever. And also, I don't think this is bad. I think this is just mid. It's mid. It's mid. And I think most of what DaBaby's done in recent time is mid. Because it's just like a somewhat inferior version of his best hits, but he keeps doing it over and over again. You know, I don't know. I don't really see a place for him in hip-hop these days. I don't really know why he even does it. I mean, I guess maybe he thinks he can still, like, prove. Maybe he thinks he can still, like, prove that he has something to offer, but I mean, I haven't heard it yet. But I hope he does, because again, I think he has some hits. I'd love to hear him do better, but we haven't gotten that. Okay, Hatsune Miku. One day I was just like, I kind of want to listen to a Hatsune Miku album. I kind of just feel like listening to one. And for those of you who don't know, since Hatsune Miku is not a real person, she's a software that really anyone can get, there is a new album uploaded to her official Spotify page roughly every 3 weeks. So this just so happened to be the one that I came across that day. I've always, I don't know, I find Vocaloid music pretty pleasant. I don't know, there's just something about the sound of it that I really enjoy. But I've always found Hatsune Miku so unbelievably interesting. Like, the idea of a fictional pop star that's so widely known and successful, that's based on a software that is so easy to give out, so there's just always new music coming, and so many people choose to, like, do different types of things with it, and she's, like, such an icon of a character, and she's, like, comparable to a real musician, but she isn't that. I find her as a concept so interesting. So yeah, I just wanted to listen to this one, and you know what? It's fine. I liked it a lot more the first time I listened to it than on re-listens. The thing about this project is that it's made straight up incorrectly. This was made by someone named 2.0, who has no prior experience to this album, publicly at least. I have no idea who these people are. I don't know why they made this per se. But like, it's fun. It's a fun Vocaloid, like, somewhat experimental alternative project. It's interesting. It's enjoyable. But this album was made fucking incorrectly. There are 2 songs on this whole track list of 23 songs that are above 2 minutes. 2 out of 23 are above 2 minutes in length. And I'm convinced sometimes that was by fucking mistake. Like, there's a song, I wish I could remember, I should have written it down, I wish I remember which one it was. One of these songs just cuts off mid-sentence. It doesn't fade out, and it doesn't transition into the next one. It just cuts off mid-sentence. So yeah, I like this album to some extent. I think it's kind of fun. I think it's a fun album. It has the Vocaloid sound that made me want to listen to it in the first place. But this album is so fucking awkward because it was just made blatantly incorrectly. With that being said, my favorite track is probably Ignite. I just had the most fun with this one. Most of this album is pretty fun though. There's some duds in here. Rap Like Miku, the one prior, is the worst. This song is really bad. But yeah, it's a little bloated per se. This is the complete edition. It is a lengthier version of an already existing album. But yeah, it's fun. It has a fun track list, very short and simple songs, and they're mostly good. It's a pretty decent listen. Again, the whole album was just made incorrectly though. but this song's fun. This shit would go crazy in Friday Night Funkin'. Yeah, I like the use of the Vocaloid software on this. I think it's pretty decently produced. It's cute. It's very charming. It's a fun song. Yeah. I think it's well produced. I don't doubt 2.0 are skilled enough producers. There's plenty of well produced tracks in this. Again, everything is just so fucking short, and some of them are short seemingly by accident. But I guess I'm wrong. I could be wrong. I don't know. It's such a weirdly structured album, and again, it feels like an incorrectly structured album. It's really confusing, but it's mostly fun. I think it's okay. It's teetering on good, but again, it's too poorly of a put together album to be good. I think it's okay. I think it's an okay album. I like it enough. I like it. Okay, next we got our shortest project on here, an EP of 2 songs, but, you know, I did want to talk about it. However, it is exclusive to SoundCloud, so just give me a moment. But yeah, this is a collaboration between a name I'm going to have to learn how to pronounce. Never mind, I know how. This is a collab EP between Fijimacintosh and Trippie Redd, and let me tell you, it's better than Genre Sadboy. I'm so bright now because of the SoundCloud page. Brightness warning. Yeah. This is a 2-track EP between Fijimacintosh and Trippie Redd. It's called Bigger Than Satan. And you know what? It's a couple of bangers. Like, I wasn't expecting much out of it because Trippie Redd is kind of fucking washed these days. It doesn't seem like he's really trying that much anymore. And you know what? These are just 2 bangers. They're both very fun. Great examples of the rage sound, the rage subgenre that like Playboi Carti mostly pioneered. Yeah, I think both artists do very well. It's very auto-tuned. It's very who the fuck is this? Are there 3 people in this song? Wait. Did I think one person was 2? Holy shit, hang on. I didn't even know there was another person. Who is it? Who are you? You're not in the song. Who is it? I'm gonna assume they're a producer that I've never heard of then. But yeah, Bowlin' Cuts is my preferred track out of the 2. But no, yeah, this is 2 bangers right here. A good example of the rage genre. Great performances from both of them. It's very auto-tuned, very production. Production carries the whole thing. But you got Family Business by Lawrence. I do not. Hi, Ride Toast. 1 sec. Let me. There it is. This is what we've ranked so far. This is what we have on the way. I don't know if you'll recognize them based on their cover. I don't know how much music you listen to. Don't know much about that. But, yeah. Alright, so yeah. This is just a 2-track EP. Very short and simple. But I think this is my favorite out of the 2 songs. And again, it's very production heavy. Production carries the whole thing. But it's fun to listen to. That's all I could really ask out of a Trippie Redd and whoever the fuck this is project.
Yeah, diamonds that ice the face. I'm at a face that mace. Squashing that bitch like a grape. I want the money I take. 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 Yeah. I want the money I take. Yeah. I want to take over the world. I want to take over the mix. I want to pull up with them blicks. We gon' pull up and we blitz. Choppers, we pull up with sticks. Yeah, and I'm rocking our rip. Don't give a fuck about your drip. Don't give a fuck about your bitch. Don't give a fuck about that shit. Don't give a fuck about the op. Pull up, we sending them shots. Bitch, a big red, just like a dot. I got a RPK outside. I don't know, I walk, little bitch, I glide. Black hawk, little bitch, I slide.
Yeah, again, this whole project, it's very production heavy. Like, it's not about, you're not going to get a lot of great bars on this. You're not going to get a lot of outstanding performances on it. But I do think this is a great example of the, sorry, I forgot that rewinding unpauses it. That's how SoundCloud works. Yeah, I think this is a great example of the rage genre that Playboi Carti kind of set in motion. It's a little bit, it is derivative of such. It's not the most, like, creatively distinct. But, like, I like how distorted and bass heavy it is. I like how playful the vocal style is. I like that kind of thing. Again, you're not going to get any, like, this isn't outstanding music. This isn't outstanding lyrically or performance-wise, nor is it this isn't anything fantastic, but it's really fucking fun to listen to, and again, that's all I really could care to get out of these people. And you know what? It's a better example of the rage genre than plenty of other shit that we've been getting. Yeah, I was just very surprised by how fun this was to listen to. I find this so fun to listen to.
I don't know, I walk, little bitch, I glide. Black hawk, little bitch, I slide. Fresh and clean, little bitch, like Tide. Just me and my bitch, like Bonnie and Clyde. We Lilo and Stitch, we ratchet and clank. Pull up the choppers, we robbing the bank. I want the money, I motherfucking take. I want the money, I motherfucking take. I want the money, I motherfucking take. I want the money, I motherfucking take.
I really like the screechy vocals there. I really like the way they did the screechy vocals.
Yeah, diamonds that ice the face. I'm at a face that mace. Squashing that bitch like a grape. I want the money I take. 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 I want the money I take.
I want to take out my face. I got that cash like a bank. She give me net till it break. I put your
I will say, Trippie Redd very much leans into more of his, like, his vocal style, like the vocal style that Trippie Redd is very much known for. He really leans into on this one. Again, I'm not familiar with this individual, Fijimacintosh. I'm not familiar with who that is whatsoever, but they are pretty blatantly a Playboi Carti clone, whereas Trippie Redd is kind of just doing what he's already good at. So points are taken away for that.
We living like Zach Code, nigga, like sweet. Yeah, we got hella bitches in the lab, kinky. We got hella bitches in the lab, pop. I don't give a fuck unless I get everything. I don't give no fuck. Yeah, diamonds that ice the face.
Yeah, Trippie Redd is absolutely the better part of this song. But the production overall, I think, is really fucking good. Like, it's very Whole Lotta Red-esque, but, like, I think it's fun. I think it's a hard beat. I think Trippie Redd does very well on it. Fijimacintosh, I don't think is the highlight of this project, even though it's technically theirs. It's just, they're too, you know, I feel like Trippie is just so much more of a distinct artist on this EP. But again, I just think this is a couple of tracks that are really fun. I just think it's too short to, like, have a strong stance on, but I do think it's good. I think these are two good songs that are really enjoyable to listen to. All right, next, this is Artemas. If you don't know who that is, you've probably heard, if you know the song that people use in short form content, it's I like the way you kiss me. I can tell you miss me. I can tell it hits. It's that person. They made that song. And this is a mixtape they released earlier this year. And I think it's pretty good. It's like an alternative pop, alternative R&B record. And I think the production is very good. It's very intriguing. It's very versatile. There's a lot of different soundscapes on this project. And I think some of the subject and the lyrics are pretty interesting as well. And what I love about Artemas is the way they use vocal effects. Like, Artemas is a male vocalist, but if the only thing you've heard of them is "I Like the Way You Kiss Me," then you probably wouldn't even fucking know that, because they use, like, a bunch of vocal effects to, like, attack so many different types of vocal performances or vocal styles. So, and yeah, I really like the way they do that. I will say, I hope in the future they get more experimental with their production, because they're very clearly very creative. And this is like a very well-produced, well-put-together alternative record. But I hope they go even weirder with it, is the thing. Because like they're ultimately still like a lot of the styles of a lot of the vocal styles on this, and a lot of the production choices you can hear in other places, and sometimes done a lot better. But so like I just hope Artemas gets like much weirder with it in the future. I want them to just like go balls to the fucking wall with this shit. I want them to just come up with something you've never heard before and you'll never hear anywhere else. That's what I really want to see from the future. But ultimately, I think this is a good project. My favorite on it would be Too Slow, probably. I just think I don't know. I really like the writing and vocals on that one. It's just really clean. Yeah, Too Slow. I really like the song. I don't know. I really like it. Has very wavy production, and the vocals coincide with that very well. Yeah, I think it's probably my favorite.
Too slow. When I needed somebody, you left me on my own. Can you feel that, baby? That's depression, 'cause you got it too slow. I'm the reason, I'm the only one you call at home. Want you to feel this pain that I already know. I don't even know why you love me when I don't. I can tell who's hurting most by the hands around my throat. And you can't fix that in post. Guess you got it way too slow. Too slow.
Yeah, I love the style of production on this one. I love how wavy the synths are, and I love again, I love what Artemas does with their vocals. They're so creative with their approach to how they do their vocals in post-production, and it's always very interesting. And it almost like Artemas on their music sounds like multiple people all the time. Like a lot of the time, you would think that the higher pitched vocals is a feature, but it's not. It's just. But they have a flexible voice, for one. You can hear that in some of their other music, but also the methodology they take to their production is very creative, and I like it a lot. Do you dislike Taylor Swift? I don't dislike Taylor Swift. I mean, the thing is, I dislike her more after the new album, because the whole fucking thing that fans of that album love about that album is that she's being herself, and if that is who she is, then I'm inclined to believe she's not a very good person. But no, prior to this album, I had no problems with Taylor Swift. I don't like her as much now that this album is out, I will say.
You couldn't stand being around me. Girl, you can stay, but don't make no plans. And I'll admit you excited. Don't let it get to your head. I don't even know why you love me when I don't.
I can tell who's hurting most by the hands around my throat.
And you
Can't fix that impulse. Guess you got here way too slow.
too slow.
Yeah, I really like this song. I love this song a lot. I don't think the whole album is as good as this song. There are a couple duds in the track list, but this one is really good. Yeah, love the wavy production on that one. Love the way it's written. Love the vocals. Yeah, great track. Overall, I think this is a good album. Still, or it's a mixtape. I'm just gonna keep using the word album because that's just how I am. No, yeah, but I think this one's quite good. It's again, I want to see Artemas get even more experimental in the future because I know they seem really creative, and I've seen them do some really creative stuff in their career up to this point, and I just want them to get even fucking crazier with it because this one's already pretty fucking weird, and I like that about it, and I'd like it to get weirder. Alright, next. This is Everchance by Cluster. Or their name is clust.r. This is our first underground artist of the stream. They have around 7,000 monthly listeners. And most of that probably already came from the fact that they appeared on a streamer by the name of BRAT Taste in Music. Yeah, this one is much more underground, and I really like this one a lot. It's a very weird, experimental, electronic project. And what's interesting about this is that, like, it's purposely awkward. Like, this is a very strange and awkward listen. It's almost uncomfortable at times, but at the same time, this is how I describe this album. It's a bit of an uncomfortable listen, and the reason it's uncomfortable, or no, the fact that it is uncomfortable kind of makes it comforting. Because, like, the whole thing is basically just about being the whole thing is about being awkward and insecure. And that makes listening to it feel a little awkward. It's a little bit uncomfortable. But at the same time, it's done so in its weird, creative way that's kind of relatable. And that makes it feel, like, soothing, in a sense. Even though it's so obnoxious. It's very obnoxious, like, sound-wise, stylistically. It's very obnoxious. But that makes it comforting. I don't know how to talk about this one. I have a hard time talking about this one. I'm going to play my favorite off of it, which is Steam. Yeah, I really enjoy this one. It's so strange. But I like that about it. It's very unlike... There we go. Yeah. I recommend this one quite a bit. I really do recommend this one. It's not like album of the year competitor, but it's one of my favorites of the year. It's up there at least. Yeah, it's very strange. Listen to this. Let's listen to Steam. I remember the lyrics not really being in sync, but I'm still gonna put them up. Yeah, weird electronic experimental record here. That's like about being awkward, which makes it awkward, which makes it better. Yeah, I think this is very much like, I think a lot of people, especially probably like I'm going to say older people. When I say older people, I don't mean like old ass people. I mean, like, I think some people like pre-Gen Z would find this shit kind of like stupid. But the thing is, I think us young people can very much relate to a song like this. Because it's basically just like if you read the lyrics of the song, which you've probably been doing because they're on screen, this song is basically just about e-dating. Which is objectively cringe. It absolutely is. But at the same time, it makes it relatable to us young folk. It's something we kind of understand a little bit better. I don't know who Cluster is. I don't know anything about them, obviously. But, like, it's interesting to see because a lot of the people that would be having these kinds of experiences are only just now getting to the age where they can make, like, competent music and get it any kind of popular. So it's kind of interesting to see an artist talk about this kind of thing. You don't see it very often, and you usually don't see it done well, is the thing. Because, again, like, if you see that kind of thing, you kind of expect it from being like a 13-year-old with no musical background. But Cluster is a skilled musician. I think what they've done here is very impressive and very creative. So it's very interesting to see the themes on display here. Yeah, this whole project is very well produced, and it's very creative and very interesting. It's a really interesting listen. I highly recommend this one. Yeah, I think this is some peak shit for real. I'm putting it right here. I think this is a great project. Great experimental electronic sounds, very interesting themes throughout. You can tell it's from a more underground artist. You can hear some amateurish like details in like the recording and stuff, but like it's a great project. I think it's really interesting, and I like it a lot. I like it more than I like this fucking mixtape right here. This is Might Delete Later by J. Cole. J. Cole has like one of the most anticipated albums in rap music history right now with The Fall Off. Instead, he fucking dropped this on us, and it's not good. I really want to put it in bad, but I do think it's like mid. There's just so many shitty songs on this. There's so many bad bars on this, and like J. Cole gets given way too much fucking credit as a rapper and lyricist because there's so much shitty content on here. And but the thing is, I'm not all that surprised by that because that's just what J. Cole does. Like, he has some outstanding work, but he's just so good at dropping so many shit bars, so many boring verses, so many strange and just stupid production choices. This is such a boring project. But like, I don't think it's bad because I think ultimately, like, J. Cole again is a competent rapper. So like, there's still some good verses on here. There's some good features on here, and it's a mixtape. There's not that many songs, and a few of the songs are just mid. But there's only one song of this that I really like, and that would be Sticks and Stones, which we'll listen to. But yeah, J. Cole just really phoned it in for this. I don't know why he released it. I don't really get why this came out. But yeah, there's just because there's so many lackluster tracks on here, and it really feels like he phoned in so much of it. One of the tracks was fucking removed because he realized he didn't want that smoke, which, you know, I respect. That's fine. But like, yeah, this project is so boring. There's like very few redeeming qualities. It's just not that bad because, again, J. Cole is a competent enough rapper. But there's no flavor in this thing. There's no creativity, has no personality, and it's boring a lot of the time. I think Sticks and Stones is like an okay rap, though. It's like a pretty alright rap song. I still don't think it's anything outstanding, though.
Are you guys ready to party tonight? Are you?
Yeah.
I'm fucking with you, right? Okay. Ladies and gentlemen.
Ladies and gentlemen. Hunger. Yeah.
They gotta hide their face. They was predicting a nigga to fail, turns out that was not the case. I'm rocking a mask with lots of cash, I look like I robbed a bank. Can't even rob the bank that I use, my money is not with Chase. Foreign deposit safes, I'm writing this shit on a private plane. Sometimes I be flying commercials still. These niggas get rich and become so detached, they music start having that surface feel. Not a subliminal, speaking in general, feelings get hurt when words get spilled. Sticks and stones may break your bones, but saying my name in a verse will kill. Word of the wise, nigga, we heard all them lies before. My number ones come from albums, theirs is burgers and fries. To go against me, your odds is low. I don't even got no odds for real. Nigga, just give me my props for real. I done did everything, I'm about to chill. Count the meals and cribs on top of hills. Mad chips, cash rich, my stash stick, I'm Dr. Phil. Stash stick, I'm Steve Harvey. Bad bitch, 2 friends, hat trick.
He did the same fucking joke twice. He did the same thing twice. Yeah, again, I just think J. Cole is so overrated as a lyricist, because, like, even when he's dropping some rapidy rap flows, he still just says the dumbest shit. But again, I think he raps well in the song. I think the production is simplistic in a good way. I think it's a mostly enjoyable song.
Tell them to go like they E40, Nigga don't want no smoke with me, I'm one of them ones. Tiptoeing through the slums, ducking 100 round drum. I took my lumps way out in Cumberland, niggas ain't on where I hung. Shit, I'm up, stomach still rumbling, niggas ain't know what I done. Nigga don't want no smoke with me, I'm one of them ones. Hop on a song with whoever, I ain't ducking no one-on-one shit. Hey, pull up the track, I'm about to black and going on a whole nother run. Yeah. So much drama on the street, feel like the beef is random. Murder galore, turned into Thor, I gotta keep a hammer. Case weather get inclement, shots rain on the innocent. The neighbors still don't know who sent them shits, it's like a secret Santa. Me, I'm out here reaching for a higher frequency, I plan to rest my feet in presidential suites and sleep in beach cabanas. Skeeting on 1,000 count sheets, I'm hitting freaks and tandems. Busting down and throw them
in the cab like they from East Atlanta. How I feel to see the flash, bitch, and know that he can land them. Every word I speak on beats is guaranteed to feed the fandom. Weakless wanna walk inside my sneakers, watching from the bleachers. Only time they'll see the roles reverse is if they lease a phantom. Bad investment.
Yeah, I think J. Cole's flows on this are actually really good. Again, that's why I think it's the best song on here pretty handedly. Just because, like, a lot of the flows on this project are not very good. Again, a lot of the verses I think are pretty phoned in, and I don't understand why this project was released. I wish he deleted it later. No, I wish he deleted it earlier. Yeah, I do think the flows on this are pretty smooth, and I think the production does a lot for J. Cole's style of performance here. Again, I think there's some goofy bars, but ultimately, like, the bars are okay. Yeah, this is a highlight on this project, but again, this project it's just not particularly good throughout. This fucking... I won't play it for the sake of time, but this track here, Huntin' Wabbits, has a sample of the Meat Canyon video, Wabbit Season. And this song fucking sucks. It's so bad. Crocodile Tears is equally bad, though.
But what else you had expected? Moms was broke my whole adolescence. Never had a lesson. Except for pawn shop hustles, the times collections had us stressing. Bitches couldn't tell if I was poor or just bad at dressing. It was a bit of both. When I took it up top, I took an oath. I was gonna hit a lick, break bread with my dogs and split a loaf. And take over the game, make sure that my name's considered GOAT. Now back home is the best in the world to fall off. Come and hit a growth on God.
Just drop it already.
I'm one of them ones. Tiptoeing through the slums, ducking 100 round John. I took my lumps way out in Cumberland. Niggas ain't hung where I hung. Shit, I'm up, stomach still rumbling. Niggas ain't know what I done. Nigga don't want no smoke with me, I'm one of them ones. Hop on song with whoever, I ain't ducking no one-on-one shit. Hey, pull up the track, I'm about to black, I'm going on a whole nother run.
I think this song is totally alright. I think it's good. I think the song is good. I think the flows are really solid. I think there's some solid lyrics on here. I think the production does plenty for it. Like, it's a good beat. Like, the beat is very solid. But yeah, it's not even that good, and it's the most outstanding one on here. It's teetering bad, but it's mid. It's a very mid mixtape. Don't really understand why it came out. Don't really see the point of it. Not much on here. I don't know. I just don't think it's... I don't think it's anything great. Alright, next we got what is this album called? Fuck. I Got Heaven. Alright. This is I Got Heaven from indie rock band Mannequin Pussy. That is the name. That is the name of the band. And I respect them as hell. I respect them. I respect the fuck out of them for that name. And yeah, I have in my notes, I have the least amount about this one because I don't really have any strong feelings on this one. It's just a very solid indie rock project. Great instrumentation, great vocals. Pretty much every track on there I think is just about equal. I do have a favorite, but I mean, I don't think it's anything that much better than the rest of the track list. Just a very solid indie rock project from a band I'm pretty interested in that I do feel I should explore more. There are some parts of it that I think are more creative than others. Like, I think Okay is like a pretty interesting track, but my favorite is I Don't Know You. Yeah, I just think this is just a really good indie rock project with some very good vocals and very good instrumentation. I like that the instrumental is a little bit muffled. I like how faint the guitar in the back is. I think the song is really pretty. I like the harmonizing in it. It builds up right here. But, yeah, I like how long it takes to build up. I think it's very pretty. I like how simple the writing is, you know? It's just a very... I don't know, even when it gets a little more, I guess, intense, it's a very relaxing song, I feel. It's very atmospheric, that's for sure. Yeah, I'm a big fan of how the atmosphere of this track just keeps building over time. I appreciate the simplicity in its lyricism. Again, I think this kind of how I just feel about the whole project is I think, you know, just the writing, the vocals, the instrumentation, it's just all done very well. I just don't have that much to say about this one, unfortunately. I just think it's good. I think it's pretty fucking good. Yeah, I think it's a very pretty song. Great atmosphere. Love the way it just builds over time, but never gets like too hectic or chaotic or anything, despite the fact that it's building throughout the entire song. Never gets like too overwhelming or anything like that. Yeah, this is yeah, I think this is good. I think this is a really good album. I think, again, every track on there I think is basically equal in quality. I think they're all generally pretty good. Some great, with just about every element of the songs being well done. Fuck. I don't have a pick for worst or best song in this one because I hate this album so much. This is Gunna's album of this year. This is one of one. And every Gunna song and album sucks. This guy's never done anything good, and I don't know how he's made it this fucking far in the industry. I wish he didn't. I wish he would stop. I wish people would stop. What's the shortest one on here? What's the shortest song on here? On One Tonight. Was this a skit or an actual song? I don't remember because I hate this album so much. The last song is 6.5 minutes. No Gunna song has the right to be that fucking long as he just drones his way through each fucking sentence. I hate Gunna as an artist. I think he is ridiculously mediocre. He is a carbon copy of his contemporaries, and he does absolutely nothing that they do better or on par with. Like, there's nothing good about Gunna as an artist. He's never done anything good. He's never going to do anything good because he doesn't have to, apparently. This project fucking sucks. Is this a song? It is. Alright, we're just gonna play the shortest song. Because I don't want to listen to this ever again. I hate this album. This has no redeeming quality of this album. It's boring. There's no lyrical content. There's no good melodies or flows. It's just there. It just exists, and it's terrible, and I hate it. I'm still hating, man. It's so boring.
For 200K, they told me the frost, rainbow face. They hope I fall off. Ain't no way. I might be alright, but it ain't okay. Niggas got left. Niggas went right, I went left and stay left, and ain't nothing the same. They run their lips. I put my prep in and step in my foot in the pedal of rain. Spinning shit like I'm ahead of the game. You say they gon' drop and it better be flame. Lil' mommy gon' top, she gon' suck till I'm drained. My top 5 topper in love with her brain. Her girls to see, Hatsune and Miku, those grease man. Love me in Spain. I'm kicking P. Land on the jet with a bitch with a big body frame. Just like a biker, rocket black. Margiela Lopez, the one with the lace. Put up the title, yeah, right. Hope that these little niggas really wanna race. I got that fire, I spit crap. I got that fence, gon' recite what I say. Came in a ladder, this ain't no threats. This a blue Scotty, I smoke to the face. Made it to the light, they still throwing shade. I was locked up taking chips for a train. Turn the box pay more than minimum wage. These blue hundred
home one tonight. Don't play with me, play with a mic. She second when stop at the light. These rappers ain't copying right. Get dressed and pop out in the night. Too trim, I got him enticed.
Yeah, this album's terrible. He has no personality on the mic whatsoever. He has the most boring flows, boring cadences, nothing interesting about the production. There's nothing he does that other rappers don't do better. This is my least favorite album of the year, as of now, honestly. And I don't know if it's going to get worse than this, just because albums like these, I can find something to enjoy. I can't do that with this one. I can't. I just can't do it. I can't find anything. It's so insufferable to sit through a whole Gunna project. You have no idea. I never want to do it again. All right, we're moving on to Bring Me the Horizon. This is the latest entry in their series they're doing now called Posthuman. This is Posthuman Next Gen. Bring Me the Horizon is a very popular rock and metal band that have made some absolute fucking bangers in the past, and this project is full of bangers as well. And I gotta say, I was very surprised by the versatility on this one. I knew there would be some bangers, but like the metal parts, the metal elements, the elements of metal, rock, hyperpop, alternative music. Like, there are so many styles fused together in this project, and it comes out consistently pretty fucking great. Like, there's very, very few misses on this project, and it's a decently long listen, and it's great. The vocal performances is fantastic, but the production is mainly what I love. Again, there's like elements of hyperpop, which is baffling to me, but I fucking love them. All the instrumentation is top tier. The writing is fine. There's nothing really outstanding about the writing. But what I gotta say is like the writing is very like emo, which is fine. I don't have any problem with that. But the writing is like very emo. But the thing about it is that it's really catchy still. Like, this is the songs in this album are very catchy, and that's what makes it so like just pleasant to listen through. Like, there's some fantastic performances. It's still very much a metal project, a metalcore project. But it's very catchy. There's some like pop elements to it that make it really exciting. There's some bubbly elements to its production. Yeah, I really do like this album quite a bit. And if I were to pick a favorite, it would have to be... nope, that's the wrong thing. Let me pull up the album. It would have to be Top 10 Statues That Cried Blood. Yeah, the naming convention, you guys are going to see. If you haven't seen it before, I'm going to show it to you. The way they name their songs is a little ridiculous. I know there's a reason. I looked it up. I don't remember what it is. There's a reason that it's like titled this way. But yeah, they title their songs in very interesting ways. And I forget why that is. It spells something out or some shit. I don't know. Or it means something. I don't know. But yeah, Top 10 Statues That Cried Blood is my favorite. Again, it's got some like hyperpop influence to it, which I really fuck with. Like, I like it a lot. The fusions of the genres here. The Fusion Z gamer. I'm killing myself. No, yeah, it's this. Why is my taskbar not going away? What do they mean by this? Let me do desktop share so you know what I'm saying. When I F11 the page, my taskbar just doesn't go away. Why is it doing that? I don't much appreciate this. Okay. Anyway. I guess you're gonna just see the top bar and shit. I don't know. Okay. Shout out to Opera GX. Yeah. Just like some hyperpop influence to this one. And it's a banger. Production's crazy. All over the place. But I love this one. Insane instrumental.
I just born with tragedy in our blood. It's just basic chemistry. Maybe
Yeah, the instrumentation in this one is insane. The drums are crazy, the guitars are crazy, and the way they layer the screechy vocals, it's fucking crazy. And the way the song transitions into the chorus is great. Yeah, this song is crazy, and this whole album is a lot of fucking bangers. Yeah, man, this song goes crazy. Again, the instrumentals on this project are the highlight. It's crazy. Yeah, the production on this one is really creative. I don't mean the song, the album. It's very strangely produced. Like, you don't hear a lot of music like this from a band of this scale, you know? Like, you'll hear a lot of music like this, especially if you, like, explore the depths of SoundCloud and shit. You won't hear a lot of music that works in these types of styles into their music that's, like, this big and successful. Yeah, I think this song is fucking incredible. A couple other songs in here I think are basically on par, but for the most part, bangers. There's a couple, like, interlude-like tracks, and just a couple tracks I think fall a little bit flat. I don't think this is, like, a perfectly consistent listen. And it just barely falls out of, I would say, my top 5 of the year. I'll cut it off. There's like a theme to this album. I'm gonna cut off the talking part. But yeah, it doesn't quite crack like my top 5 of the year, but it's still going. My taskbar won't go away. Why is it doing this? I'm looking at my taskbar settings. I don't know what could have possibly fucking changed. I'm gonna kill someone. I'm gonna fucking kill someone if this shit does not go away, so help me God. Okay, I think it's fine. Yeah, this is I'm gonna put this one right here. This is some peak shit for real. Great project, bangers on bangers on bangers, lots of fun and interesting production. Very different from what I expect the band to do, but that's part of its greatness, I think. I really like it. I think it's a great album. The Ariana Grande album this year. This is Eternal Sunshine, and you know, I think this album's totally alright. I can't have strong feelings on this one. I'm not the biggest Ariana Grande fan, though I do feel her performances on this album in particular stood out to me quite a bit. I think she sings very, very well in this. And again, I'm not someone that necessarily usually cares for her style of performing. She's undoubtedly a skilled vocalist. I've always known that to be the case, but I've never really cared for her music, but I think this album's pretty alright. There's some good songs on here. My favorite being The Boy Is Mine. I think that one's pretty fun. But ultimately, the thing is, it's just a pop record. You know, like, I don't think... Like, I think there are pop albums and songs that are better than this, and I think there are plenty of records that came out this year that are more interesting than this. Again, like, BRAT came out shortly after, and it's significantly more creative. and something like Pretty from Artemas, I would say, is, you know, much more, it goes much more in the alternative direction, which is something I give a little more credit to. You know, there's nothing wrong with just making a straightforward pop album. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that per se, but like, I don't think it's anything outstanding. But, you know, again, it doesn't have to be. But, you know, I don't think this album's great, but there's some good songs on here. I think, again, her vocal performances are mostly the standout, because I don't think lyrically there's anything that great. Some of them are pretty well written, but I don't think there's anything great lyrically. And I don't think the production is as interesting as it could have been. Again, I think the thing is, I think there's much more potential here to have made a more interesting and creative and enjoyable album. But, you know, this album's pretty alright. I think The Boy Is Mine is probably the best song in here. I think it does have the best production and some of the best performances and some of the best writing. I think all around this is just a standout on the album.
How can it be you and me? Might be meant to be, can't unsee it, but I don't wanna cross no sea. I'm usually so unproblematic, so independent. Tell me why? 'Cause the boy is mine. Something about him is made for somebody like me. Baby, come over. God knows I'm trying, but there's just no use in denying. The boy is mine. I can't wait to try him. Let's get intertwined. The stars, they align. The boy is mine. Watch me.
Yeah, I think Ariana's vocals on this track are incredible. I think this is one of the best performances I've ever heard from her. Like, she's done, like, on a technical level, she's definitely done stuff like this before, stuff as good or better than this before. But I don't know, just the groove of this one, the vibe of this one, and again, I think the production elevates the style that she's in right now. Yeah, I think, you know, again, on a technical level, she's definitely done stuff like this before. But I think on just simply on a level of enjoyability, this one is just like really clean.
My time, I can't believe my mind. The boy is divine. Please know this ain't what I planned for. Probably wouldn't bet a dime on my life. There's gotta be a reason why my girls, they always come through in a sticky situation. Say it's fine. Happens all the time. Something about him is made for somebody like me. Baby, come over. God knows I'm trying, but there's just no use in denying. The boy is mine. I can't wait to try him. Let's get intertwined. The stars, they align. The boy is mine. Watch me.
Yeah, I think this is one of the catchiest songs on the project. It's like a really good earworm. It's very, very catchy. Love the higher vocals.
You know it's simply meant to be, and I had to call accountability for all these years. Promise you I'm not usually like this shit is like news to me, but I can't ignore my heart. Mine, I can't wait to try. Let's get intertwined. The stars, they align. The boy is mine. Watch me take my time. I can't believe my mind. The boy is divine. Is mine.
Yeah, I think this song is really, really good. I don't think the rest of the track list is quite as good as this one. I think there's some mediocre tracks in here. I think there's some tracks that are very forgettable. And, you know, and again, like, she's a very skilled vocalist, but I don't think her style is always at its peak here. But, you know, I think it's totally okay. I think this is an okay album. It's teetering good, you know, but, you know, you definitely could give this more credit than I'm giving it, per se, but, you know, I don't think it's anything outstanding. It's just a pretty decent pop record. There's some misses on there, though. But, you know, it's not bad. It's not bad by any means. It's not mid by any means. But it's just okay. It's okay. It's an okay album. You know, I liked it more than I thought I would, to be totally honest. Yeah, Pretty good record. Alright, so this here is from Kid Cudi. This is Insano. Kid Cudi is a very creative musician with quite the legacy behind him because he's done some outstanding work before, but he's also known to drop some duds every now and then. And this album is pretty mediocre. There's nothing all that great about it. There's a lot of misses on here, a lot of skips on here, a lot of really bad production choices. And the thing about this album is it doesn't really feel like Kid Cudi's trying on it, which is really upsetting, honestly. Like, I mean, I guess like he's always done like a kind of laid back style. He's always kind of, you know, he's never been like a really energetic, enthusiastic kind of vocalist or performer or anything. But like, I don't know, it doesn't really sound like he's all there when he's recording a lot of these tracks. Some of these tracks on it feels like he's really phoning it in. Some of them are really underwritten, and a lot of the writing is so unfocused, and yeah, it's like, it's really nothing all that special. Of course, I'll be playing my personal favorite track on here, which for this one is Wow. That's just the name, it's Wow. And, you know, it's a banger. Like, there's a few songs in here I do like. There's some pretty good bops on here. This Wow is with A$AP Rocky. And yeah, there's some bops on here, and there's some good production for sure. The production is mostly what carries it, actually, and some good features as well. Like Travis Scott is on this album, Lil Wayne's on this album, but Lil Yachty as well. But like, it's just it's over 20 songs long. It's over an hour long, and most of it is just kind of mediocre. A lot of the tracks are skips in my book. Yeah, it's not a very good album. But there's some bangers on here. Wow is a banger. I like Wow. Wow is a banger.
Life is amazing these days. I guess you could say this is the new and improved me. You gotta love it.
Oh, what the fuck? Why did it do that? What the fuck is that? I tried to make sure my phone's volume was all the way down, and it changed. It worked as a remote. I guess I had Spotify open.
I guess you could say this is the new and improved me. You gotta love it.
Yeah, blown up in the air. You know I'm living wow, wow, wow. Wow, wow, wow. Never cared. She looking, she impressed. She love it, saying wow, wow, wow. Wow, boy.
Yeah, I kind of like the way the vocals are muffled here. I don't know why I do, but I like it.
I was flying, gone. Flying, see the sunset fall. Finally found my piece of demon cease to haunt me all night long. All fucking night long. I get up, she ready. Gotta grab her waist so steady. Baby working on my bone. Baby work the bone. Ain't no nigga timid. Bend it, lick it on this pretty. Then she served me to a zone. To a zone. Got a nigga off that shit. Been waiting.
No, my name's there again. Why does this keep happening to me? It always happens on stream too. It never happens off stream. Fuck.
For a hit on my mind, she's the baddest bitch. My fix so thick, no game. She playing with me, my type, my baby ride. She real with me. Yeah, this nigga need that. I've been feeling, dreaming for it, and I like your sexy ways, my baby.
Yeah, I think this song is still, again, just very underwritten. I wish it had some more clever bars and shit. But I mean, I don't know, it's very groovy. Like, Kid Cudi has he has a very laid back approach to his vocal style. It's very chill, and I like the melodies going on here. I think the production does kind of carry it, but the production's pretty good. I like the way the chorus, I like the way the vocals are like muffled in the chorus. Again, I don't really know why I like that. It's not like any particular reason I enjoy that, but I just actually think it adds a lot to the vibe. It's a vibey song. I don't think it's outstanding, but it's a vibey song, and I appreciate it for that, you know, because again, a lot of the songs on here are just kind of boring or chaotic for no reason. No, I'm living wow, wow, wow. Wow, wow, wow. She impressed, you love it, say it wow, wow, wow. Wow, wow, wow.
Yeah, my dickies got the crease. I got kisses on my cheek. I got glitter on my teeth. I got lipstick on my briefs. Keep it cool, keep it smooth.
So stupid.
Plus my boo got the glizzy, keep the rizzy if it's beef. Chef and man's Boyardee with the latest Goya. Me and my vamp babe got our own handshake. These niggas can't stomach me. Gotta go get a man Drake. If I pull my tool out, bet she gon' fix it, yeah. Take the YouTube route and she go vixen, yeah. I like my drinks ethnic. Tell me what you mixed with. Hold up, hold my blunt up in the function, bitch, I'm twisted. Call them niggas broken, they broken, can't fix it. That girl call me Big Drip, she like the way I mixed it, yeah.
I think A$AP Rocky's verse is pretty fun. Like, this isn't like a very well written song, but it doesn't need to be. I think it's very vibey. I like how fun it is. It's playful. I like that it's playful. Wow, wow, wow. Wow, boy, wow. Wow, wow, wow. Wow, wow, wow.
Real nigga business. Windows tinted. We all in it. Watch that boy pulling up. No bullshitting. It was written. Told the devil, wait a minute, I ain't ready. Anyone felt hopeless? You're at war, and I'm sitting while I roll one. Furthermore, with this nigga in the car, watch me surfing. Heaven knows I'm just his souls on the search to find his home. No, my angels got me, yeah.
Honestly, I kind of feel like this verse could have been cut. I don't think it adds that much to the song. Like, the song is not that long, but, like, it could have been a little bit shorter, because I don't think this really adds anything to it. It feels the most phoned in. I get to hear the funny hook again, though. Blunt up in the air, you know I'm living. Wow, wow, wow. Wow, wow, wow. Never cares. She looking, she impressed. She's saying wow, 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 wow. Wow, boy, wow. Yeah, I'm coasting through the air. High up living. Wow, wow, wow. Wow, wow, wow. It's fun. Yeah, it's a fun song. I like the song quite a bit. And there's a few songs on here that I think are just fun. There's some fun, vibey songs in here. Kid Cudi makes fun, vibey songs. I think, generally speaking, this album is mediocre. There's not much on here. And I will say, if you guys, I hope you plan on sticking around. I am going to, once we're done talking about this album, my tier list is not up. Once we're done talking about this album, I'm going to be changing streams. Because we've been going for about 2.5 hours, and I don't want the stream to be taken down for copyright. Because that would just be an inconvenience for us all, so let's get ahead of the curve. And I'm going to set up a new stream, so just don't go anywhere. Be on the lookout for a new link in the chat, and then I'll just take you over to the new stream page. We're going to do that momentarily. But yeah, INSANO has some bops on it, has some fun songs in it, but again, there's a lot of lazy writing, a lot of lazy delivery, very, very bland. It's very bland a lot of the time, and it's just too bloated, because Kid Cudi didn't have that many bops on here. It didn't need to be over 20 songs. I think it's mid. I think this is a mid project, and Kid Cudi is capable of much better. So yeah, I'm going to swap over to the stream. It'll take about 2 seconds for that to happen. So just bear with me, and I hope you guys stick around. I'd appreciate it, of course. Let me just... It's going to be the same title, but part 2. Fuck. Okay. And yeah, we'll use the same thumbnail as well. All right. So. Just wait for it to fucking load in. There we go. Alright, everyone, make your way on over to this new stream page, and we're going to pick it up from there in a second, just to avoid the stream being blocked, because again, that would be hella inconvenient for me, and we can definitely finish up the rest of these in one more stream. So, yeah, make your way on over there. I'll see you there. Appreciate it. BRB.